So it's great to see so many wonderful supporters of the Greenwich Economic Forum. Thank you for coming today. My name is Jim Aiello, and my business partner is Bruce McGuire, and we are the co-founders of the Greenwich Economic Forum. Welcome to our 4th annual conference. We were overwhelmed by the amount of interest for coming back together again in person. At the beginning of the year, we thought, let's just do a conference with about 50 people, low key, see what people want to attend this. And what we found is there was tremendous interest for coming back together in person. So we increased it from a half day to a full day with 150 people. And we did that for a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden they said, wait a minute, from a lot of our sponsors, we really want to have more than that. And so we ended up doing a day and a half with about 200 people. And that's what we have here today. So thank you for your support and interest in really coming together. We still wanted to keep our digital component because of the success we had in 2020. We had 4 times the usual number of in-person attendees coming from 86 countries as opposed to the normal in-person of 20 to 30 countries, so almost 3 times the number of countries. And given the reach of that global audience and when we went digital, we thought our paradigm for conferences had really shifted. Our plan for this year and going forward is to have both in-person and digital events. Special thanks to the Financial Times as our production partner and Bloomberg TV as our broadcast partner. Bloomberg is out, Tom Keene is out on the left-hand side over here, interviewing people like crazy, and he's just a delight to have him, and hopefully you guys can see him and see what they're producing. We're thrilled to have Bloomberg involved. We're also grateful to see so many familiar faces after 18 months of really challenging days, both professionally and personally for all of us. We're also excited to see so many new faces that are coming to GEF this year, so thanks to everybody for coming. Given all that we've been through and the fact that we are here in this beautiful location on this wonderful day that's between fall and spring, I thought it might be appropriate to just pause for a few moments for all of us to reflect on how wonderful it is to re-engage and come together right now. We have an exceptional forum planned for you over the next 3 days. You'll hear a mix of returning speakers as well as new leaders. We have past speakers such as Ray Dalio, Orlando Bravo, Steve Case, Afsani Beschloss, Annie Lamont, Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont, Michael Sonnenschein, Michelle Seitz, Jillian Tett, Ken Kinsell, Kip DeVere, Mark Burgess, Robert Zhang, Chenji Jiayi, William Ma, and several others. And new speakers to the forum, including Dr. Alan Greenspan, Daniel Loeb, Nouriel Rubini, Noah Kerner, Marcy Frost, Bennett Goodman, Lawrence Calcano, Mark Lipschultz, Frank McCourt, and Sheila Khan, and many others, sort of too many to number. We also have numerous world-class institutional investors joining us again. We're very proud of our institutional investor ecosystem that we've developed. We have Ivy League university endowments, some of the top sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, select family offices, and several others. So thank you from the investor community for coming. We're in a very different place today than we were 18 months ago. It's almost to the day when the world really changed back in March of 2020. And even from GEF last year in November, which was just 10 months ago. And how has that world changed? Well, first, we don't have to keep hoarding toilet paper and bottled water anymore at Costco. I guess that's behind us. But the home and even the restaurant is the new office, like it was for Michael Douglas and the Netflix show Kaminsky Method, for those of you who watch Netflix. Work will never be the same as professional and home life are now intertwined. Masks are in our pockets, in our purses, and our faces when we gather outside. I've also heard we're supposed to start buying even Halloween gifts holiday gifts at Halloween time because of supply chain issues. But we've also reaffirmed something that we all know regarding the importance of health and fitness, both for body and mind, and to keep us better protected against illnesses, including COVID-19. And to that point, we have a special call out to our lifestyle partner, Equinox Fitness Club, who's here at reception. I know Equinox kept me sane during the pandemic and is continuing to do so today. Finally, COVID may have turned the world upside down, but it's also created an opportunity to refocus on the basics and help people see what's truly important. Perhaps that's the lemonade out of lemons over the past 18 months. The defining issue of our time, the past 2 years, has clearly been the pandemic and its vast array of anticipated and unanticipated consequences in health, finance, and how we do business, and otherwise. We continue to learn more and more about the virus, treatments, and other aspects every single day of the year. In terms of the economy, we are clearly seeing inflation, temporary or otherwise. Look at the 8% increase in wholesale prices in August. It's the highest on record, yet interest rates are near zero in most countries around the world and will likely stay that way for years to come. The role of technology in our personal lives and across companies has never been more important, and the pandemic has accelerated its value and role in everybody's life. Technology disruption is a fact of life right now, and companies, investors, and even entire ecosystems are being built around those who the technology change agents will be. The role of central banks and government in general, because of the need for coordinated national and international response to the pandemic, has really increased dramatically. Stock markets, home values, and most asset prices are up, yet a lot of financial pain has been felt in multiple different industries and by different groups, especially by smaller firms, and wealth inequality is probably at an all-time high. So plenty of challenges. Now the key is for us to use that incremental wealth and power for the betterment of society, not just for personal or corporate wallet gain. This is where corporate social responsibility comes into play, another big topic for the forum today. These are really good days for the alternative investment industry. Hedge funds, private equity, private credit, venture capital are in high demand right now. Record numbers of hedge funds are not accepting any new money into their funds. Asset levels are at all-time highs in just about every major sector within alternatives. And returns have been strong. Record low bond prices will likely stay that way for years to come, and these record low bond prices will fuel assets, but also innovation at the company level as well as in financial services helping fuel this growth as well. What's going on in China and how that country interacts with the world is always important. And while there is some good news in financial services recently regarding the opening up of markets to foreign investment firms, China is literally cut off from the rest of the world. Just try to go to Shanghai or Beijing these days. Ask someone from mainland China to get on a plane and come to New York. You can't do it. And this can't be good for the world. We need to be able to meet, share, discuss, and debate like we were doing here today at the Greenwich Economic Forum. The meteoric rise of cryptocurrencies and companies offering crypto loans and deposit accounts is forcing regulators to crypto sprint to catch up to tech changes and responses to potential dangers. And the world is experiencing a series of problems with global supply chains. Amid widespread shipping bottlenecks and massive inventory delays, supply chain management is the new highly coveted skill in the new economy. We hope that these topics and others over the next 3 days will prompt stimulating conversation and debate. And we look forward to having this dialogue with you and in months to come. A big thanks to our sponsors. We're excited to announce that we've had stronger interest in higher level sponsorships than we've ever had since the history of our founding, which is really exciting. Please look at our sponsor board, especially at the gold level. And thanks again to all these corporate sponsors. Without them, this event would not be possible. We're especially grateful to our top 3 sponsors, iCapital, Chevron, and Churchill Nuveen. And just to name the other sponsors, we've had about 20 sponsors this year, which is really exciting. Ares, Atomize, BlockFi, Blue Bay, Capital Constellation, Fitch, Gilded, Grayscale, Hong Kong Stock Exchange, Hubei Technology, Jefferies, MFA, Thoma Bravo, Tianfeng Securities, Rofra, Yield Street, CTIFS, Hunter Point Capital, JP Morgan Private Banking, Standard Chartered, eRiver Consulting, and our community partners, which are Grace Farms, the Bruce Museum, the Connecticut Hedge Fund Association, and the Greenwich Library. Just a few housekeeping things before I introduce and welcome our MC. In terms of the format and new features, a few key things. Everyone in the audience can submit questions via something called Slido. You just need to go to the Slido site, and I don't know, Annette, if we have a slide of Slido. Maybe we could show them what that looks like, if we have it. We will leave time after each session to address as many questions as we can. You can and should also share your thoughts on social media. We're especially active on LinkedIn and Twitter, especially LinkedIn, and be sure to tag hashtag Greenwich Economic Forum, where Greenwich Economic Forum is spelled out. Today and tomorrow will be held in person, and the videos from these 2 days will be played on video on demand starting later today as well as the next few days. And on day 3, Thursday the 23rd, we reconvene, but in a digital format that will be available globally. Also, we want GF to live on past this conference. We love having this annual conference, but we want to keep the dialogue going throughout the year. And so we're starting something called the Breakfast Club. It's a socially oriented, membership-based program with lots of perks. It's oriented to senior executives. And the idea is to have small group meetings at venues like the Del Mar here, where we're going to do it every other month. And the discussions will be on key topics similar to what's being discussed here at GEF. And we'll have guest speakers at each time. Our first meeting will be at the end of October, on October 29th, Friday. Everyone who joins today will be a founding member and will receive a founding member discount. Just see reception for additional information. So now I want to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Russell Sherman. Russell is a partner with Prosec Partners, which is one of the leading firms in the communications space. We're excited to have him joining us in this role, given his extensive knowledge, energy, and perspective. Russell's also worked with many of the top names in the entire investment industry, including many of the speakers that we have today, and he's been a big part of helping make GEF a success over the past several years. So, Russell?
Thank you, Jim. It's great to be here. I'm really fortunate that I get to spend a lot of time at a number of different conferences throughout the course of the year. And I really think the Greenwich Economic Forum is quickly becoming one of the go-to events in the space. The focus on global economic issues, key industry trends, and what I like best is just this intimate setting, which is really great. And so I think it is really come a long way. Jim and Bruce, you guys have done a tremendous job. The FT live team has done a great job bringing together a number of really interesting speakers that we're going to hear from today, tomorrow, and virtually on the next day as well. So hopefully we all leave a little bit better informed, maybe a little bit smarter, and a little better prepared to deal with this crazy changing investment landscape that we're dealing with and geopolitical atmosphere that seems to be ever-changing as well. We're excited to get things started off with a bang. Jillian Tett is here, and she's going to lead us off. Many of you are familiar with Jillian, one of the top reporters and editors in the industry. She's the chair of the editorial board and editor-at-large of the Financial Times. She writes weekly columns on a variety of topics. 2014, she was named Columnist of the Year by the British Press Awards. And I think most interestingly about Jillian, she's actually a cultural anthropologist. So she looks at the world through a little bit of a different lens than your typical. Has a new book out called Anthrovision, New Ways to See in Business and in Life, and she'll bring that anthropologist mindset to the business world. So she's going to talk to us a little bit about that. And then she will be joined on stage by Ray Dalio. And I am really fortunate in that I've been able to work closely with Ray over the past 10 years. And I still learn from Ray every day, every time we speak, sometimes multiple times each day. And he's one of these people, when he speaks, you just kind of wish you were transcribing the conversation, because you know you're going to want to go back later and reflect on it and continue to learn from his valuable insights. And I think we're all really fortunate now that Ray has kind of dedicated this phase of his life, continuing obviously to invest at Bridgewater, but also to pass along the insights that he has developed throughout his life. And we're all well aware of the famous principles that have been out there, but also just amazing research on reforming capitalism, on oceans research, on various other macro research topics, and a number of other different things, including his recently released tools, Principles U, which allows for free personality tests online, and soon to come, The Changing World Order, which is a look back at 500 years of history on why countries succeed and fail. So that will be an interesting release coming at the end of November. I'm often enlightened when I talk to Ray and hear from Ray, and I know certainly I'm pretty confident you all will be too. But let's start it off with Jillian. Tet, take it away in the start of the Greenwich Economic Forum.